it's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Saturday, January 31st, 2009. This is episode 127. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, what sport don't you like to play in real life, but you like to play the video game for? And joining us this afternoon is Phil.
Not Phil. Next.
I mean, not Phil. Pick an answer there, Phil.
Sport that I don't like but might be fun in a video game.
No, that you enjoy playing in a video game that you don't like doing in real life.
Oh.
Oh, I made it harder. God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I
to do that.
understand now why we couldn't count to 3 and all say go at the same time.
This is why we can't have nice things.
What happened? I leave for 2 seconds. What happened?
Nothing.
I made the question harder for Phil once I explained what it was.
Crap. Blueberry pie doesn't work for this question.
Phil, name a sport you don't
I
like.
pretty much only play games that I enjoy playing in real life. Okay, I got one. No, I enjoy playing that though.
Now he's talking to himself. No, Phil, come on, hold it together.
All right, make something up, Phil. Guess what, Phil? You don't like football. You hate football.
No, I like football.
No, you hate it.
No, you hate it.
Trust us, you hate it.
Okay, I've got an answer. Midget tossing.
So you don't like midget tossing in real life, but you enjoy the game?
Yes.
Is there a midget tossing game out there?
There's probably a Flash game.
Well, then you're wrong on both accounts. One, it's not a real sport, and two, there's not a video game.
Welcome, everyone, to Professional Midget Tossing. This is your host, Brett Bretson.
Thanks, guys. Welcome this time to Midget Tossing 21. As a former competitor myself, I know the difficulties associated with midget tossing.
I had a moment to catch up with Big Jimmy right before his match. Big Jimmy, what is your strategy? I'm gonna toss this here midget.
I'm gonna chuck him good.
Okay, I got a serious answer, I guess. Motocross racing.
Okay, yeah, that works. Because in real life, you could probably get killed doing that. Moving on. Also joining us is Keith.
Have to be racing games. I don't like racing events like NASCAR. I don't get it. But I could play like Burnout or something.
And also joining us is Bob.
Well, the thing is, I don't enjoy any sports, really, nor their video game equivalents. I played one of the NHL games for like 20 minutes once.
You didn't like Blades of Steel?
I never played Blades of Steel, no.
See, that goes on the list of things you don't admit, like Chris playing Dungeons & Dragons Weight Watchers.
Blades of Steel.
Shing shing!
Makes the pass. Makes the pass.
And also joining us this afternoon is Chris.
Professional wrestling. I don't like professional wrestling, but I like the latest wrestling game. I've tried to watch professional wrestling, and I think the problem is they got rid of dudes with gimmicks, so nobody has face paint anymore, nobody has big spiky armor or anything. Kane doesn't even wear a mask anymore.
Wait, Kane stopped wearing a mask?
Yeah, he's just like some bald dude. One different colored contact lens, and that's his gimmick now.
Wow.
Dude, that's weak.
They really cut back on the wardrobe stuff then, huh? All we can afford is a contact lens.
Just one though. Here you go.
Every wrestler is a muscular dude in trunks, like Speedo trunks.
Dude, Mick Foley, my man.
He wears sweatpants and a flannel shirt. That's what he wears to the ring.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? This was cheap because I was already wearing it.
And finally joining us is Ivan.
Answer. Answer.
I liked Mario Golf, I suppose. I hate golf. I can't play golf. I don't like watching golf. Golf isn't a sport.
You like Mario Golf better than Tiger Woods, y'all?
Yeah, Tiger Woods isn't fun.
Just because it's like a real golf. You like the Mario one where they have all the weird stuff going on and the traps.
They got the plant things, that chompy things. What are those things called?
I believe Chomper McChompkins. I think is
Yeah,
what they're
the
called.
Chomper McChompkins. I really like the Chomper McChompkins. Those are cool.
And my answer is basically any basketball game, like NBA Jam or some of the street stuff in the 2K games, just because I can't really play basketball in real life. I'm a very uncoordinated person.
Hence the broken arm. Shoulder, I'm sorry.
Actually, Tom will attest to this. I was playing him in real life basketball, tried to do a layup and came down on my ankle and almost broke it.
All right.
So yeah, after that, I stopped trying to play basketball and just accepted that I should just only play a video game of
The
it.
thing that's funnier than that is Tom playing basketball.
He's actually decent.
I don't believe it.
Decent by your standards or decent by other people's standards?
By my standards, anyone is decent.
Tom would play murder ball just so he could sit down.
This week on the GamerCast Network. This week, Podtacular opens up their listener voicemail for call-ins and tales from the Foxhole Show, checking up on the community's Halo 3 stories from customs and matchmaking. This week, Podtoid asks, does the Prince of Persia DLC charge customers for a more complete story? Do we want games to be a respected art form anytime soon? And will we ever call TIFF? Tune in to Uncle Gamer Radio for their own special brand of humor. On the Sarcastic Gamer PlayStation podcast, is Killzone 2 overhyped? And Sony has finally figured out a way to solve all of the PSP problems. This week, the Gamertag radio staff interviews the producer of 3-on-3 NHL Arcade for the Xbox Live Arcade and PSN. Also, a review of Afro Samurai by Poston J. The podcast features fortnightly abuse and vulgarity from Destructoid.com's British Do-Nothings. They sometimes talk about video games as well. Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more. GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Anybody do anything this week?
Play Dawn of War 2.
How was it?
I had no idea what was going on. I was very confused.
It's only multiplayer, right?
Yes. I was like making my units and they were running around with my Orc Warlord. There's this one guy, he'd just be standing there and I'd have my Orc Warlord. He'd kill everybody, including me. Everything would just kill me instantly. I had no idea what was going on.
This is free on Steam, correct?
Yeah, this is the multiplayer beta that started up about a week ago. And I guess there's no tutorial, there's no instructions.
So you just got to figure out the build order?
Against other people.
Nice. That's hardcore, man. Multiplayer game without instructions. Go! Try not to lose, dick.
I doubt I'll be playing that again until the game itself comes out or other demo comes out. But I'll still pick it up.
So the purpose of the demo is to get people to try it so that they know if they like it, right? So this probably does the opposite.
Well, for me, yes. Like, I never played Dawn of War online outside of you guys. I just never did.
I have heard that Dawn of War 2 is a lot like Relic's other games, Company of Heroes. So people who said they've played Company of Heroes were able to easily pick up Dawn of War 2.
I haven't. I'm not good at those against people anyway. I don't know what's going on in RTS games.
That's why we usually just play against each other. Whoever can make the big death killer juggernaut thing first usually wins. Because that's all we ever try to do.
Nobody likes RTS games in the group, right? I mean, nobody runs out and buys them all.
Tom does.
I liked playing Dawn of War 1. I didn't really care so much about actual Warcraft and Warcraft 3, just because the resource management was a pain in the butt.
I sort of like them. I used to play StarCraft a lot, but once people get their little build orders down and then just go straight for their rushes and everything, it kind of kills the fun of it.
Yeah. It becomes way too algorithmic way too quickly. Wish there was some way they could undo that. Like, randomly change the prices of units a certain percentage, like, every time you play, so they don't always all cost the same all the time, so you know exactly what to do, exactly what order to get things in. Like, all of a sudden, your archers cost twice as much as they did last time you played, so you don't want to do those, and you'll have to, like, think of some other strategy with the cheaper things or something.
Hey,
like
you know what else works? Turn-based. Just saying. Hey, just throw that out there. There you go.
You don't mind the management in the turn-based games?
No, not at all. Where I'm not rushed to do things. Dude, I'm fat and lazy for a reason. I don't like doing things quickly.
I don't understand how that is. Well, I'm not that kind of person. I suppose it's fun for somebody. How it's enjoyable to have the same pattern that you do every single time. You do this, then you do this, then you do this, and then rush over here, and you kill the guy. And you do that every single time, every single game, every single time that you play.
If you're going against someone who knows what they're doing at the same level, it might become enjoyable because you're trying to constantly outdo one another with tactics and whatnot.
And then it becomes how faster can you click to do those things than the other guy. Then it becomes who's better at clicking.
Doesn't it always?
Exactly.
Honestly, I once saw there was on YouTube a video of the top StarCraft player in the world. He was a Korean.
That's a shocker. Wait a minute, wait. I'm still recovering from that shock. Okay, continue.
When you're doing StarCraft, kind of like you're playing a first-person shooter because your left hand's usually over the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're constantly hitting hotkeys on the keyboard. You're using more than just the mouse. And I swear to God, this guy's left hand never stopped moving.
Picnic.
Wait. Never mind. I'm not even going there. I'm just going to avoid it. Steer clear. That's my good deed for the day.
So, Chad, when you play RTSs, what techniques do you enjoy?
He enjoys playing with Tom and then not telling the other guy that him and Tom are talking to each other and in the same room, and then ganging up on him when he least expects it. There, strategy.
Those were the fun days, yeah.
That's something you didn't see in your build order, is it? Huh?
I was always the kind of guy that loved to go all the way up the tech trees. I didn't like the early game rushes and that kind of stuff. I was able to defend against it, but I always preferred going to late game. To be honest, I'm really looking forward to Dawn of War 2 because I don't like the micromanagement stuff. I'd rather just do the tactics. I'm kind of glad it's not going the route of StarCraft or having all those resources and management and that kind of stuff. I'll probably still play StarCraft 2, but that's just because I used to play StarCraft.
Well, I was checking out the screenshots for both games. StarCraft 2 looks like it's going to be a little prettier, and Dawn of War looks a little more grainy. Do they try to give you more of a look and feel of a post-apocalyptic world with that graininess?
No, not any more than the first one did.
It was true to the Warhammer. This is why I kind of disagree with Phil. That kind of grainy, generic, brown, dusty, post-apocalyptic, HD, tons of bloom thing that every game has now, and everything is gray, is really kind of uninspired. It should be in Gears of War, and that's about it.
I liked the setting and how it looked. But I also liked how it looked in World of Warhammer as well. It all has that same gritty Warhammer feel.
Did you just call it World of Warhammer?
Whatever. It's the same game.
Just checking.
World of Warhammer, Warhammer Online, whatever.
World of Dawn of Warcraft.
Next topic.
The guys at Microsoft, when they were doing the mice, the new Sidewinder mouse that came out last year, they were talking about all the study that they did, and they would go over to Korea and they would take measurements and everything and all this equipment to see how fast people's mouse hand moved, how many times per minute they clicked buttons on the keyboards and stuff. And he said it was ridiculous. I don't have access to the stats, but it was some crazy amount of however many hundreds of feet that a player would move his mouse by moving it an inch kind of a thing. How much did he move his hand in the time span of one StarCraft game? There was all kinds of this crazy stats.
Which I guess is why the Sidewinder mouse has like adjustable weights that you can put in it.
It's sort of ridiculous, isn't it?
It really does have adjustable weights. For balance.
Yes, it does.
That's pathetic.
And it has different feet. So there's Teflon feet and there's different resistances on the different Teflon.
Really? I think I want one of those for work. That seems like a nice idea.
I have the mouse and I love it. It's got a nice wide track wheel. I'm not a huge FPS guy, but it's got adjustable DPIs, you know, like low, medium, high, so the mouse pointer moves faster.
Looks like a Millennium Falcon that's black. It looks like a big giant, and you pick it up and you go, this is heavy, this is bulky, and then you use it and you just go, oh my God, that's exactly how my hand goes.
Right, and it's comfortable as hell. I mean, I've played World of Warcraft for hours and hours on end, and my hands never like cramped up from holding a mouse the whole time.
It's wired, but here, so get this. They have a case that comes with it. It's about the size of the mouse, and you put your mouse cord through it, and it's weighted. It stores the extra weights, and it stores your extra feet, your extra weights, and basically it keeps the cord where you want it to be because this thing is big and heavy.
You know, if you ever have your mouse cable running off your desk down the back into your computer, and then every once in a while it'll get hung up on something.
Or you kick it. I kick mine constantly.
A lot of times just the weight of the cable itself draping over the edge of the desk.
That is my least favorite part about wired mouses, is they're usually, you know, especially the LED ones, they're so light and there's nothing to them, and then if you let it go, the cable will actually start to move it. It happens at my work mouse constantly, and it drives me up a wall.
There's your justification, Bob. It's like 16 inches down the cable of the mouse, and you can set it on the end of your desk so that it's like putting a book or something on the cable. Oh, the best thing is that, and this is in no way pimping Microsoft for the fact of pimping Microsoft, it is a Microsoft mouse and it uses their IntelliPoint drivers. They just work. I've had a Razer. The software for those things are absolutely craptacular. They like design the interface in Flash, and it never worked.
And similarly, when I had a Logitech mouse and used their software, it crashed my Windows system every once in a while.
Logitech is notorious for making really good hardware and absolutely atrocious software.
Next topic.
I played Mountain Blade.
Oh, Mountain Blade. It's like a role-playing game, Oblivion-esque kind of. on Steam for the PC.
Yeah, it was for like $3. They had it on there one day, so I bought it.
Nice.
It's like manager's special meat.
This thing's gonna spoil if we don't sell it today, so $3.
So I bought it and I played it for a couple hours. It's pretty sweet. It was easily well worth it.
Is it like a Diablo or is it like Oblivion?
More like Oblivion.
I think I got it from the same sale that Keith picked it up cheap. It's like Oblivion. I haven't played past the tutorials. I understand it's more of an open world kind of game. You go around, do quests and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I have 5 peasants that follow me. You go fight the looters and that kind of thing. Then you can start doing factional quests for the different kingdoms and the different people within the kingdoms, or start just killing everyone on your own. I've just been killing all the bandits around the area to get money.
What's this game called?
Mountain Blade. There's a demo for it. You can download the demo. It's pretty sweet. I'm having fun with it.
Got a 73 on Metacritic for $3. I think that's a thumbs up, right?
It was a little more than 3. It was on sale for like $7.50. Normally it's 30.
It's 30? I thought it was 20. Oh well. I'd still pay 30 for it.
The only complaint I think that's out there about it is the graphics aren't the greatest. I think this was being done by a small indie dev studio.
I can forgive that, though.
The gameplay makes up for the graphics.
That's what I mean. If the gameplay is good enough, I can forgive graphics not being state-of-the-art.
I would highly, highly recommend downloading the demo then, Ivan. I would pay $50 for the game. It's a good game. I'm really enjoying it right now.
We've just reviewed 2 games and a mouse. Welcome to the PC podcast.
It's like we're an actual show this week.
I know. Damn it.
Next topic.
Speaking of Steam games, Neopets Puzzle Adventures is fun.
It's fun.
I thought you said you didn't like it.
I do like it. It's made by the guys who made Puzzle Quest, Infinite Interactive. It's not Puzzle Quest. It's not Bejeweled. The game is Reversi or Othello. And I at first didn't like it because I really suck at Othello, Reversi. But now I'm learning how to play. And it's really fun.
Do you level up your characters and get powers and stuff a la Puzzle Quest?
The one thing that confused the hell out of me at first when I sat down and played was they were like, here's your Neopets, here's the abilities they have, like here's his strength, movement, and something else. And it doesn't really explain what the hell strength, movement, or the other thing does. But you can upgrade him in terms of getting pets that go with you, that give you abilities in the game. Like the one I have right now, he has, I forget what it's called, a little badger or something that you click on it, you can reverse any tile on the grid already. So if someone's blue, you can reverse it to red. And then your turn doesn't end, so you can go chain a capture at that point. I didn't think I'd like it. You know, it's not a deep game. It's made for kids mostly, but it's pretty fun.
I'm with you though, dude. I don't know about that Othello Reversi kind of gameplay.
I never was into that. I mean, those kind of games are based off of Go, and I never really learned any of those kind of style gameplays. I could never see enough in the future, the strategy for it, to figure out the right place to grab. But as I'm slowly learning how it works, I'm getting more and more used to the tactics you have to do. And the thing is, also with this one, they had that old, it's not just Reversi. You have the spells, special tiles to click on and do things that changes in the gameplay. It's a little more than just straight up Othello.
Is there a demo?
I don't think there's a demo. I was kind of bored last night and said, it's only $20. What the hell? It tied me over to Galactrix.
Next topic.
Speaking of orcs, there was lots of Blood Bowl content.
Yeah, I was watching that. Go Team Orc!
Delicious.
I'm much less interested now.
Because there's no undead?
They're a staple of Blood Bowl. There's like 5 different undead teams, and they didn't even pick one for Blood Bowl. I'm hoping a lot that, this is the first round, and if it does well, they'll have some downloadable content with new teams.
It says the trailers have shown dwarf, goblin, human, chaos, lizard, skaven, wood elves, and orcs. So there's no dark elf. There's no undead.
There's no vampires.
I wouldn't be surprised if they either add more teams and or we haven't seen all the teams that are actually in the game, because if they're putting in wood elves, they're a specific version of elves. For those who don't know Blood Bowl, wood elves are better at passing than regular elves.
More lightly armored and better.
Why are you laughing?
It sounds ridiculous.
Are we nerds?
Dude, the game's sweet though.
It's good. It can be played turn-based or real-time. And I had the game that this company made before Blood Bowl. It was called Chaos League. And it was really fun. It had Star Force copy protection on it, so it made my computer crash all the time. But it was good. I mean, and you could do the whole thing where you brought your team through all the ranks, and then they sued them basically because it was the same game. And then this is what came out of it, was they partnered up. It's going to be good.
Wait. So they sued them, and then instead of actually going through with the lawsuit, they said, hey, let's partner up?
No, I think it was like part of the settlement. They settled out of court and said, all right, we'll settle, but part of the settlement is, hey, we want you to develop this game into our own.
It was like City of Heroes in Marvel, right? It was the same. I mean, they went and they were fighting each other, and then undisclosed terms, and then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, Cryptic's making a Marvel game now. It was sort of the same. Games Workshop went into a room with Cyanide, who's a French developer, and they came out and they said, we're buddies.
They went in the room with the Cyanide, the French developer, and some cyanide, and came out of the room, and everybody was buddies. I don't know what the hell happened.
I had one quick question. I haven't watched the trailers fully. Did they show gameplay, how it actually plays out?
Cinematics.
So we haven't really seen how it's going to play out when it comes. They have said it's turn-based and real-time.
They're in a tricky spot. The idea of Blood Bowl is exciting to many gamers because they'll just associate it with things like Mutant League Football, which was a cult classic, or just, football where you use orcs and you smash elves and blood comes out and you kill people. The actual game of Blood Bowl is turn-based. It's not a lot of action. It's like describing war by using Risk. It's the same thing. So all these people who follow Blood Bowl and know what Blood Bowl is, they don't want the real-time game. They want to play it turn-based, strictly normal leagues and everything. But there's 1,000 of us, right? And then there's the mainstream gamer who wants to play action John Madden football, but with orcs and stuff. So I'm pretty curious to see how they're going to balance it. I think it'll still be fun, but maybe that's the reason we haven't seen the gameplay videos yet.
Balance it or spend more development time on one versus the other. Like, they want to appease both people, but they really want to do a real-time game, so the turn-based is just kind of gimped. Or it's like real-time, but with pauses or something.
That's how it was for their other game. Chaos League, what it was you would play a turn-based game and you would plan all your moves. You had all the time in the world to plan your moves. Then you hit go and the game engine would run the game for 10 seconds and then it would pause the game again and you would do all your moves and then you would hit go. So when you played multiplayer, you had 10 seconds of running time, 30 seconds of planning time. And you would just alternate. It worked out really well, all things considered, but I don't think that's going to satisfy Blood Bowl fans.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they meant by real time. I think you're right. It's going to be like a not as in depth as Madden, but it'll be real time. And that's why I think they're going to spend all their time doing turn based, and then they're just going to kind of throw in this real time thing, which is just kind of silly little. You can pass the football, and you could run and score touchdowns and stuff, but they're not taking into account the abilities maybe of the actual races and stuff.
It's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm not going to get it because there's no undead team, but those are my preferred teams to pick.
Chaos, baby. Chaos and orcs. That's all you need.
Next topic.
A long time ago, there was the Gears of War came out for the PC. This was a year ago it came out?
Yeah, something like that.
I guess there was a digital certificate that the game has to have installed for it to play. And on the 28th, the certificate expired. So when people tried to play on the 29th, it just wouldn't let anybody play. Now, you could get around it by changing your clock back a couple days, and then...
Jesus. I'm going to roll back the year to before the game was made. How's that? Will it work now?
That was a fix for it. I don't think it was the fix by the company, but that's the fix people found to use on it. So right now, Epic is trying to, I don't know, get a new certificate out there for it or something. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm not positive. I know they're working on fixing it.
The thing is, the PC Gears of War never really took off as a game.
Correct.
It even had new content and everything that the Xbox version did.
I'm sure there's a small community following it, but not the same size that the Xbox version found.
No. It was at the beginning of Games for Windows Live. And if you guys remember, Games for Windows Live had some birthing issues.
Yeah.
So it was just more complicated to play than it needed to be, coupled with the fact that it was a computer port of a console game, which, as a PC gamer, I'm already going in it with one eyebrow raised. The same way I'm going into Halo Wars, which isn't, but seems like it's a PC game done for the console. I mean, anytime you try and force feed the other group a game made not for them, they kind of go, The editor was cool, though. It was just, I tried to make a map, and it was super duper difficult.
So how does that make the editor cool? How I was expecting that sentence to go was, I tried to make a map, and it was really easy. I got some little bases down in 10 minutes. Nothing big, but that's what I expected that sentence to end with. Not, yeah, it was really cool, but incredibly difficult to use, and I didn't do anything with it. But it was awesome.
Correct. It's cool the way Photoshop is cool to Keith, right? He's seen some dude make your eyeballs bigger and make your mouth all frumpy and, that looks funny, that's cool. And then he would try and do and you go, this is retarded, just let me use paint. I just want to resize images, that's all I want to do.
Yeah, I just want to color in porno and make it safe for work.
Yep.
Next topic.
Anybody here buy UT3 ever?
No, but that was one of the games I was looking at buying on Steam because it's only $20.
There's a big patch coming out for Unreal Tournament 3. I don't know if the date is, but it's going to have a major Steam patch where they're going to put in achievements, basically. They're tying in with their Steamworks program.
I want to play that again just to use the vehicles.
It's cheap now, isn't it? Unreal Tournament, because I just bought it recently.
Yeah, I picked it up last night for like $13 at GameStop. New.
It's $20 on Steam for convenience.
And if you buy it in the store, they've even allowed you on Steam to use your CD key and activate on Steam. So if you buy it in the store for $13, you can go turn it on via Steam. Is anyone here interested in trying Unreal Tournament 3 now that it's cheaper and might have a lot more content coming up pretty soon for it?
I don't know why I haven't played it yet.
We played it at GDC last year and we liked it, remember?
Yeah, I mean, that was just a deathmatch. Weren't playing Onslaught or anything, so I could only assume I would like it more, because that's what I ended up playing of UT 2004 over and over and over again.
Well, doesn't UT3 look a lot like Gears of War? So do you think a lot of people are playing Gears of War more than UT3?
I think Microsoft has a gigantic marketing muscle and flexed it thusly, and everyone started playing Gears of War. It's a good game. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think maybe you're right, Phil. The look and feel looks like Gears of War. There's a quote, in finger quotes, there's a single-player campaign, but it's, all right, we're taking this world. The aliens have landed. Go capture that flag now, because we need crystals from it. There's crystals inside of the flag. Go get it.
Yeah. Really, crystals in the flag. We can't just nuke them from here. No, we gotta. You know what? Whatever. I'll just go.
They always work capture the flag into a war game. Well, today we decided not to kill each other. We're gonna play capture the flag.
Yeah, I have it. So if you guys do play, let me know. I'm down with that clown.
Yeah, I have it too. I might start playing it again.
And if people don't want to play it, we still have UT 2004, which is still a fun game.
That's what I was going to ask. Is there really a single-player campaign in 2004 as well?
Yes.
There was?
It's like, you are an elite commando squad trooper. Here's some people that are on your team. You must fight the other team to get out of the arena. Go!
I bought that game, tried Onslaught, and played nothing else. I was unaware there were any other modes to it. The only thing I ever got for UT 2004 was there was a mod where you played one of the vehicle Onslaught maps, but instead of being attacked by other players, you were attacked by all the monsters from Unreal 2. And they would just come at you in hordes, and you'd have, like, you know, your land-based cannons and your tanks and everything else that you had. And there were still so many things coming at you, it was really hard to win.
It's like Horde mode. I mean, no way, dude. Horde mode is a unique and interesting take on...
Next topic.
I was able to play Serious Sam 2 until I didn't want to play anymore and simply turned off the game rather than playing until it crashed and deciding that's when I was done playing the game. So I think my computer is actually functional now. When I ran that Entune thing, it increased whatever bus speed was on the PCI Express thing. It increased it by like 15%.
That actually worked?
Yeah, it went from like 2500 megahertz to like 2850 or something, and it made a humongous difference, and it doesn't crash anymore.
Okay, because that program I don't think has been updated for like a year and a half or so. I was worried that it actually wouldn't work.
Pretty good.
I used to use it because that was the tool that you also used to determine the temperature of your video card. So I had a link in my quick launch bar to it. And I've updated the drivers for my video card a couple of times, and it doesn't even work anymore, so I'm not even sure where that file lives.
And this thing makes chicks' boobs bigger?
Yes.
Increases bust size or something?
Hey, I'm okay with that. Whatever it is, I'm okay with it.
What's that tool called?
Entune.
Bust size increaser?
Increases your bust by 15%.
See?
Which,
Bust.
that's pretty good.
Yes, you said bust that time. I heard you.
It's from NVIDIA. It's NVIDIA's Entune.
NVIDIA would actually be pronounced NVIDIA, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Be pronounced like you're drunk. Hey, you're the Jarvis from NVIDIA. You know the website that makes all the graphics cards? What's it called? NVIDIA? Cause somebody... Oh, God. I'm gonna just lay down for a second. That's alright. I got NVIDIA now.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 127 for Saturday, January 31st, 2009. Any ham sandwiches or Shattered Dream pies to give to the world peoples?
Ham sandwich to Black Dynamite!
Shattered Dream Pie to Samuel L. Jackson, who somehow isn't in that movie.
Yeah, I know.
He was busy with Afro Samurai.
Oh, good point.
Ham sandwich to the winner of the Super Bowl. Congrats, team. You did great. I can't believe the amazing running, passing, and tackling that your team has accomplished.
Congratulations, Super Bowl winners. Arizona Cardinals, Pittsburgh Steelers, and just cut out whichever one isn't.
Yeah.
I figured that the Arizona Cardinals, Pittsburgh Steelers would totally win the game, so I called it.
Don't forget about the GamerCast Network Gaming Nights. You can find out all the details at gamercastnetwork.com/forums. As always, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
The Predator. Where are you, Danny Glover?
I'm assuming Chad's still recording the Skype track, so all
Yes.
of our nice Easter eggs will get there anyway.
Yes. I always record the Skype track. I need my blackmail stock.
Danny Glover. Danny Glover wouldn't help you. He's only 2 days away from retiring.
So we need a roll call question.
How about, have you ever made real-life tasks into a game so that it would be more fun? My answer would be Weight Watchers. So I have a certain amount of hit points every day, and every time I eat food, it does damage to me.
Wow.
There was an article online, I forget where it was. It was, and I think that's why it worked, because I hate dieting, but this is sort of fun, like figuring out, dare I vanquish the giant 4-point dessert today?